Last up, on the opposite end of the spectrum, MLB 2K10 for the PS2. This game fucking sucked. Sucked. But I had to see it through once I started it. I actually found this at Dollarama many years back for $4, and now I know why it was there. They built a solid game in theory. The mechanics and the stuff and how the game looks and everything is good on a base level. But it could have used a lot of extra polish. I found the game really bland. Every team, you couldn't really tell which teams were playing. All the uniforms looked similar. There was no real distinguishing characteristics overall to the game. The ballparks, you could all tell which ballpark was which ballpark, but they were still pretty bland after that. And a lot of glitches as well. The commentary, it's like you're in the first inning, like first out of the game, the shortstop dives and makes a fantastic play, and the guy's like, and that's the last out of the game, I hope you enjoyed it. It's like, no, it's not. Like, the commentary is just brutal. Like, they'd be saying the wrong things at all the wrong times, and glitchy play too. Like, lots of overthrows, lots of like collisions between players on the same team that are trying to catch a pop fly and stuff. You get that every once in a while in the major leagues, but it happened way too often in this game. And another thing that happened way too often is I started counting the number of times this would happen in a game, where you would get an outfielder chasing down a long fly ball, climb the wall, and make an outstanding catch. You might see that a few times a month throughout the whole league. I was counting it 4 or 5 times a game, So there was a lot of unrealistic elements to it, and it just, I don't know, the whole thing, there was so much missing from this game. So many glitches and so bland that they just could have done a way better job. But like I said, it was there on the base level, but it was like, they were like, okay, this is good enough, let's ship it, without a lot more work having to be put into it, sort of thing. So, I love baseball. I played a season with the Indians, and once I got into it, I was like, oh, I really don't like this game, but, I'm 30 games into my season. I can't just stop playing it. So I played myself through a full 162 game season, and the good thing is that when I got into the playoffs, I had the Yankees in the first round. I hate the New York Yankees. I had the Red Sox in the second round. I hate the Red Sox as much as I hate the Yankees, possibly more. Like, the two are interchangeable on the douche factor, right? And then in the finals, I got St. Louis, which I don't mind St. Louis, but at least they were a fun team to play because they've got some history. Like, the other team was Colorado, which Colorado basically, that franchise doesn't even basically exist to me. Like, so it was a good playoff run. I played some good teams that I love to beat. And this is a funny factor in the World Series against the Cardinals. I hold a grudge in video games, even though I'm just playing a mindless computer, right? But I'd loaded up the bases with 3 base hits in a row, and Shin Soo Choo came up and he grounded out to second or something like that, and the infielder threw home to get the force at home and save the run, which the right thing to do. But the catcher, instead of just stepping on the plate and getting the force out, he actually thumped my guy that was trying to cross the plate, right? And I was like, oh, no, you didn't, right? So that was the first game. And so the next time, it was Yadier Molina was the catcher. So every time he got up from that point on, boom, threw out his head, hit him in the head every time. And it got so intense because they started throwing back at me. The ump kicked numerous of my pitchers out of the games. Like, it just turned into this whole series long. It was a sweep, but all series long, throwing at each other and stuff like that, which made things at least a little interesting as my journey unfolded at the end there and came to a conclusion. So that was a lot of fun in the end. That kind of at least left me on not such a sour note with how bad this game was. Made things at least a little more interesting. So take it for what it is. It got good reviews back in the day when it was released, but maybe that was good for back in 2010. I don't know. I wouldn't think so, but for somebody to come back and play it all these years later and go, oh, what a piece of shit, right? That's what I felt anyways. So, but anyways, that's the 5 things I had for this time around. I will be back again with more. You know this. And until then, it has snowed a lot lately, and I'm fully ready for spring, so I would say stay frosty, but I don't want to be frosty, so just stay normal. Sayonara.